Alright, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Barakah Kodash. God belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which is well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, man. Amen. We the brothers of Great Millstone. I'm the priest Shaman to my right.
It's priest Howard.
And through the grace of the Most High, man, we've been blessed to come out here. We did the work, which consists of going out there in the highways and byways teaching. Now we're driving back. When we drive back, we like to do our little ritual, which is these in transit, man. All right, we like doing these in transits. And this week's topic, the chip, man, the RFID microchip. I did a show on the James Bond series, bro. They had something called Smart Blood.
Yeah, I saw your video.
Yeah, which is where it actually evolved, because the first James Bond movie, they just put the chip in him just to track you. That was in 2006, and then the 2015 version, it should evolve that when he chipped the guy, nanotechnology went into his bloodstream, like the chip almost like dissolved, And he said, and they said they called it smart blood. And anytime you hear smartphone, smart TV, smart this, it just means a chip. Smart car, so that, and they have something called transhumanism. What it says in Daniel's 2 that knowledge shall increase.
Yeah, it says
is that Daniel's 4?
I think it's Daniel's
you can read.
I think it's Daniel's 2. And I'm saying knowledge shall be increased.
Yeah,
well, let me get it real quick. I'm gonna search it real quick.
You can search knowledge increase.
Yeah, because it should be in Daniel's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knowledge shall be increased.
What you gotta do is just click the screen so your menu could pop up. Click it again. Yeah, there you go. Hit that search. And knowledge increase. I'll speak for a little bit and let me know if you find it. But yeah, pretty much that this the technology increasing. What Apostle Tahar was saying, every 12 hours they got some type of new form of technology. So it's like twice in a day. You know what I'm saying? As technology increase, we know that pursuant to the book of Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, all wisdom comes from the Most High. So that's all the Most High doing. Why is the Most High giving the so-called white man all this particular wisdom? For his own destruction, and prophecy, okay? Because
Daniel 12 and 4.
Oh, then we'll read it.
Okay, it's Daniel chapter 12 verse 4. It says, it's like if we're cutting you from your middle of your speech.
No, it's fine, bro.
It's Daniel 12 and 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and sealed the book even to the time of the end. Mm-hmm. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Yeah, knowledge in the scriptures. Knowledge in the scriptures is increased too, because we know far more than we did back in our previous incarnations prophesying. All right, we know, as the Apostle Tahar said, man, we deeper than the apostles back then. They didn't have the ability to go into words and this, that, and third, and it was a lot harder for them back then because the Bible wasn't codified. They couldn't say, let me go to this verse, that verse. It was just one particular scroll, man. So, when you quote Isaiah, you have to read you have to go through all Isaiah, the whole scroll.
And back then, the time of the Acts, they didn't know who the devil was, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
They didn't know. Now we know who the devil. The devil is Esau, the so-called white man.
Yeah.
Yep. And artificial intelligence, AI. They call it AI now. AI, artificial intelligence. But then they got 5G. And 5G is straight satanic, man, because it causes all kind of cancer, sicknesses, you know what I'm saying? But they want to increase that because they setting the stage for the RFID microchip. Because that go hand in hand with the RFID microchip.
It says knowledge shall increase. Also, back in the ancient times, the Urim and the Thummim, which is the smartphone we have today, was reserved onto the priests and noble people.
That's right, cut.
You know what I'm saying? Now anybody could, when you want to inquire the Lord, go, hey Google, this, that, and you could ask any fucking question.
That's right.
What's the weather gonna be? What's the weather gonna be next week?
And it's going to give you the 10-day forecast.
Brother, in the ancient world, that was like some whoa.
That's witchcraft, man.
Not only, but we had the Urim and the Thummim, or the crystal ball on the right hand side, inquiring to the Lord. Should I go up there? Should I do this? Should I do that? But now you want to inquire the Lord, you just look up the prophets.
That's right.
Boom. Because the scriptures tell you in 1 Samuel 9:9 that when one went to seek the Most High, they said, let's go see the seer. And the Hebrew word there is ra'ah, which is the lookers, and we are the lookers, man. So, anytime you want a particular breakdown, what's this scripture mean, that scripture, how does it relate to prophecy, what does the Lord think about that? You go into your Urim and Thummim, but in the ancient time, that particular knowledge was not for everybody, man.
That's right.
That's why I said knowledge shall increase.
And now this particular time, you got Esau, the so-called white man, it says, let me get this real scripture real quick before I bring out this scripture real quick. Let me just get this. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 18. Proverbs 11, verse 18. Let's get this real quick.
Look at this. You got your book. You got the whole Bible on your book. on your phone. You could jump particular verses. What was the Hebrew word there, the Greek word there. All this stuff is just Most High making it convenient for this particular time because this is the end.
This is a Proverbs chapter 11 verse 18. The wicked, which is Esau, the so-called white man, worketh a deceitful work. What's that deceitful work, man? The RFID microchip being the RFID microchip. What they're going to do is, the RFID microchip being the mark of the beast, what they're going to do is institute that throughout the whole earth, man. That's a deceitful work. Not only that's a deceitful work, they New Order enterprise, man, which consists of, you know, them bringing forth, like that's the RFID microchip, man, and other devices, man. You know, having total control over the population, their new system, which is going to be AI, artificial intelligence. You know, where they're trying to merge man and computer together, which is totally against the Most High, man. You know, so that's that wicked work. It says the wicked worketh for deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Now, who worketh righteousness? The 1/3 in the society right now, the governing body, the 144,000, because
Prophets, man.
you know the prophets of the Most High, because the 2/3 of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they follow the ways of Esau, so they also work in the deceitful work, man, by being homosexuals, being lesbians, being gangbangers, you know, that's being total wicked, doing the works of Esau. So this goes hand in hand with Esau and the 2/3 being wicked, man. So it says, verse 19, as righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. And that's what's going to happen to 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans following the ways of Esau, because the ultimate destruction is thermonuclear destruction. But before that, race riots, famine, you know, getting caught up to concentration camps. So all kind of evil is going to be before you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that's following the ways of Esau. Because to tell you, it says, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. That's what's going to happen to you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. State death, man. Follow the ways of Esau, you know?
Hell yeah. You know what, too, when speaking about this technology and, you know, how the chip plays into it, you got Revelation 13, right?
Come on, I got it right now, yeah.
Because the scriptures speak about how some of them is going to have that chip in their forehead. Because what? They're going to be linking the technology with your motherfucking mind, yo. A lot of you, again, you're going to be opening up your car, turning on your TV.
Just by thought.
You know what I'm saying? Now, people are going to be in awe, like, wow, that's some cutting-edge technology.
And what it says in Ezekiel, that the angels that was in them chariots, them wheels, they would do the spirit. They would just turn one way in the spirit, and the chariot would go that way with them.
Yeah, they try to make himself like the Most High.
So that's exactly what that is, man.
Yeah, I could even see them saying, listen, man, I could see it like they have like a futuristic movie. I want this dream tonight, and they could give you your dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, con.
That'd be on some next level witchcraft shit, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
The way the so-called white man technology is moving,
because the way
nothing seems far-fetched. Because if the chip is linked with your body, then they could manipulate your dreams, your thought, all types of
exactly.
shit.
So what Esau is trying to do is have you control your vehicle by your thoughts. You ain't got to do nothing but sit back in your vehicle. Your mind is controlling the vehicle, and that's exactly what. If you go to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, when was it the first chapter or one of them chapters? I think the first chapter when it was
moving. Yeah.
It was a wheel inside of it. The spirit of the living creatures, which are the angels, was moving the wheel inside the wheel telepathically with their mind.
Yeah, but the scriptures tell you that in the book of Sirach, the 16th chapter, that they neither labor nor toil. When you read the scriptures, when it says on the 3rd day they made the heavens and they made the earth and they made this, they made that. They weren't physically. They were just making this thing with their mind, bro. They were creating hydrogen. Lord willing, with the elect back there with Yahushua, we was doing all this stuff with our mind, brother. You know, like, because it's
telepathically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it says and it said, "Let there be light." Like, in other words, let there be light. There wasn't no actual, toilet.
Working and toiling and boom with the hammer, boom.
Form the earth. Like, they'll do that with that Greek mythology, sketching out rocks and boom. Now this I'll never make the mountain. Boom. Nah.
Yeah, everything was telepathically, man.
Yeah, it was just done with the mind, man. The elements was like just they was giving charge to the elements. You know what I'm saying?
When it said 6 days, it was 6,000 years.
Yeah. A day represents 1,000 years with the Lord. So, yeah. So like if I'm saying let there be light, the elements were responding.
Everything was done telepathically. It wasn't no Yahushua and the angel was not in there toiling and sweating and breaking and busting bullets,
Yeah.
you know, creating the
You
earth
know,
for
like how you
6,000
get
years,
under the
man.
under the hood of your car.
And
It wasn't
you
doing
know,
that shit.
it took, I mean, one day to the Most High is 1,000 years, so it could have been 6 days according to the law, but on earthly it was 6,000 years, man.
6,000
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't,
It took
so
time.
that's that Greek mythology, that plantation
Yeah.
Christianity that Esau like to push, man.
Yep.
And that's why Esau is the devil, man.
This thing is too perfect, man. This thing, the Most High took time with this, creating all the heavens, stars. This thing took time, man. You know, if you ever driving, or you ever just look at the moon is a perfect circle.
It's unkind, man.
Motherfuckers can't even draw a perfect circle, man.
I know I can't. I try to.
Yeah,
Even-
let alone create a giant star that's perfect. All these stars are perfect circles, man. You telling me that happened by accident, some Big Bang accident? Fuck out of here, man.
Even if you got a compass, you try to, you got a compass, you try to draw a circle,
Yeah.
it's still gonna have some kind of blemishes in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't do it, man. And you got Esau, the so-called white man, with his Big Bang theory, with his Charles Darwinism that came out in the 1800s. Charles Darwin was in the 1800s. Darwin was in the 1800s. So how the fuck could he come with this theory? See, that theory came about because he was funded by the Rothschilds
It's just that, brother.
to discredit the Bible.
It's just that, a theory, bro.
It was a theory that was pushed by the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds funded Charles Darwin to push that theory to discredit the Bible,
That's it.
to discredit everything that the Bible had. See, when Esau, the so-called white man, which is the wicked, when he bear rule, everything more, all kind of things happened. Everything was turned out of off its course because Esau is ruling. The so-called white man is ruling. Hey man, but yeah, we in the time when the so-called white man is losing his power, losing his grip on his kingdom. That's why we should measure the time diligently in itself, man. Ezekiel in the second Ezra 9:1, man, measures out the time, man. Also, Matthew the 24th chapter, the 5th verse on down, man, tells you how when you see these things come to pass. But that's talking about 70 AD. But when you can equate that to this time now. When you see Esau, the so-called white man, compass these cities, with troops, meaning martial law, know that we can't flee to the mountains, but know we in the time of, when the Most High is going to allow Esau to show his horns, man. We living in that time, man. Esau know that he's having short time, so he's going to come down heavy upon us. Revelation 12:12. You people have not a clue what's going on. You're going to be taken, man. You're going to be taken like a bitch in heat.
Hey, read that Revelation 13, bro.
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16.
Close out with these.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
So, right there, that shows you that, listen, man, the so-called white man, this chip is going to be given to you, man. All right? If he's caused everybody to get it, it ain't going to be a money thing. It ain't going to be a class thing, like only the rich elite's going to have the chip. Nah, he wants everybody to get this fucking
It's going to be
thing.
mandatory.
Mandatory, bro.
And if you don't take it, you're going to be considered
Enemy of the state.
an enemy of the state. One, because during the time of the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire, those that went against the Roman Empire and their democracy, they was considered barbarians.
Yep.
So now, you fast forward to this day and age, those that go against the system of America, you're going to be considered a terrorist.
Yeah.
So, hey, those that don't take the off of democracy, they're going to be off grid. Being hunted down by the authorities of Esau, But it says,
They're gonna be like in Demolition Man, the people that was under the sewers and shit.
Remember that movie Demolition Man? Okay, that was in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
With Wesley Snipes.
Sylvester Stallone, yeah.
Also, Judge Dredd, you know that, right?
Judge Dredd, that too, yeah.
Yeah. So now it says, and this is how you're gonna be taken. You're gonna be taken by taking this off of the microchip. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
And again, look, man, as I brought out in that James Bond lesson, that shit sounds far-fetched, but don't you know in the James Bond movie, Die Another Day, which was in 2000-something, 2, I believe it came out? Die Another Day, they had the first smartphone up in there, man. And there was like some far-fetched shit. But guess what? Smartphones became a thing now.
That's right. But if you really look at it, it's not really far-fetched because we in the time of the internet, you know what I'm saying? But knowledge is increasing. We in the internet of things, and now they created all kind of technology, you know what I'm saying? So it may have seemed far-fetched in the early 90s, in the early 2000s, but now it's starting to come to light. We starting to see that it's not far-fetched, that there is a possibility. Because they have the RFID microchip. You have people getting microchip right now, man. And it's showing you through YouTube videos how it's convenient for them to open their door, start their car engine.
I'm talking about that smart blood, meaning nanites in your blood, brother.
I understand what you're saying, man, but...
Yeah, but now, you're right. Because you know what, too? That James Bond was supposed to be grounded in reality. They say, listen, this James Bond is not going to be far-fetched. It's going to be grounded in reality. So, you know, they went from the crazy high-tech jetpack stuff to some, you know, real grounded technology. So they telling you that they're doing grounded technology, and they talking about smart blood. I mean, that shit is out there, bro.
You know, but what Esau like to do, right? What Esau like to do is Esau, the so-called white man, like to put things in his movies, let it go over your head, so it can make it seem like it's entertainment. But it's called predictive programming.
It's a part of their witchcraft. That's just them on the left-hand side, because you know how the Mossad says something by his prophets, then he act.
They couldn't.
So they like that on the left hand side. They got to show what they're gonna do, then they do it. You know.
Couldn't. See that, and that's exactly what the Illuminati does. But the Mossad will warn you. Exactly the Mossad. They try to be like the Mossad because the Mossad will warn you before he fuck you up. So Mossad said, "Listen, I'm gonna fuck you up. Tell you I'm gonna fuck you up, then fuck you up." See, what the Esau like to do, he like to tell you this is what we're gonna do, then he'll do it. It's called predictive programming. But this is back in Revelation chapter 13, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or
the Greek word there for mark is charagma.
That's right. I'm gonna get it right now. Hold on. So it says, "Say he that," and that no man may buy or sell, say he that had the mark. All right, the mark right here says, is this the Greek word called charagma? Charagma. Now read. It says a stamp or imprinted mark. Or the mark stamp on the foreheads or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. That's what's going off, though.
But check this out, though. The word charagma is not in the Septuagint. You know that?
I know it's not.
You know, the Septuagint is them translating the Hebrew. Is when, you know, during the time of the Alexandrian library was being put together, they translated the Hebrew Old Testament into Greek. And the word charagma is a Greek word, but it's not in the Septuagint. But what's in there is its root word, charax.
It's called charax. There you go, right here. See, that's the spirit. Let's see, charax.
Yeah, charax is in the Septuagint, but what does it mean?
It says a pale or stake or palisade.
Palisade. So
a palisade.
Right. So that's it right there. So those palisades were those short wooden stakes used in trenches. Now, when you go to certain Hebrew words such as like to besiege a city and siege stuff, the Greeks, you know what they put there? Yeah. They put charax.
That's what charax. Well, a pale or stake.
Because that's what was used in siege work, man. So we know that this particular mark is something physical. It's not something spiritual.
That's right,
it's physical. Because that's what the chip is, man. It was a stake being rammed into a motherfucker, man. That's what he saw.
Or because back in the ancient world, when you become a perpetual slave to your master, that's like a Hebrew Israelite he loved his master and he wanted to be a part of his master's household. He had an oil put in his ear, you know, which was a stake, you know, to pledge himself to his master, which was everlasting servitude, perpetual servitude, man.
You get that chip, you're perpetual servitude of this.
Meaning you pledging yourself to Esau, the so-called white man, and you know, forsaking the Most High, Yahweh Shah. And you saying that Esau, the so-called white man, is your master and your God, you know? So it says back in Revelation chapter 13 verse 17, and that no man may buy or sell, say he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and there's 666.
That's it, Kai-size stigma.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
The mark of Esau is, you know,
barcode.
That's right.
UPC code. You're going to have a barcode in you, man.
That's right.
You take that motherfucker, man. You're going to be able to get scanned.
Meaning you number cattle. You property. You know?
Yeah, that's what you put barcodes on, brother.
That's right. You put barcodes on produce, you know, on goods, man.
That's what these people are, man.
And that's exactly what Esau, the so-called white man, having stored. That's that And Proverbs chapter 11 verse 13, that's that wicked work that Esau is working, that deceitful work. You know, because he's deceiving the whole world to take that chip, man, knowing that they're gonna be destroyed if they take that chip, man. That's that deceitful work. That's the main thing of Esau's New World Order enterprise, man. The microchip the whole world, man. The whole entire world have total control of the people of the earth, man. Because if you have total control, man, that means you could turn their chip off, you control their finances, man. You know, that's total control, man. Where you could track them, have their every movement on paper, on file.
Yeah, they do that now with your smartphone. That dude had that. He put his phone on airplane, all that shit.
That shit was still. I saw that video. It still was tracking him.
Exactly what time he left, this, that, and the third, and so a motherfucker might say, "Listen, man, I ain't gonna do my phone. Fuck that."
You know what, bro? To prove that right there, to prove that case in point, yo, listen, I was downtown, right, and I was doing it's a restaurant called Incognito Restaurant on 18th Street in the Avenue of the Americas, where I was doing the job, right. Yo, when I got home, right, they was giving me restaurants in that location on 18th Street where I can go, bro. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, and YouTube will give you recommendations of things to watch that they hear you speaking about. Like me and you might be talking about, I don't know, wrestling. Next thing you know, you go home, you're like, why the fuck is wrestling in my recommendations? Because
we was talking about it.
When you download these apps, they tell you, listen, we have the right to record you and for ad purposes.
People don't read the fine print of these apps, man. Because the lettering is so small that people don't take the time to enhance it.
Even if it's large, nobody want to read no fucking 50-page. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to read.
They just download the
app and keep it going.
Exactly, bro.
And it could be an app that's random, bro. You could be doing a fucking video game app, bro, and it'll tell you, listen, you have to give us permission to do this, that, and the third. You know, that's how come we might be talking about, again, whatever, fucking wrestling. Wrestling's gonna pop up in YouTube tonight, man.
We talking about boxing or something. I'm saying that you know, I'm getting old Mike Tyson boxing videos and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking to a bitch in Spain. I go to YouTube, it's showing me shit about Spain. I'm like, what the fuck? From WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo,
showing that they tracking us, man.
Yeah, brother.
Watch it, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb, nigga.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, hey, man. So you know, with that, hey, man, we know we close to our destination, and our destination don't matter to you, man. But with that, Lord willing, next week, another Great Millstone in Transit after camp video. If that's if we still here, Lord willing, we come at you another game with another video. With that, say shalom, man.
Shalom.